Banks and telecom companies will now have specific roles in tackling phishing scams with provisions for victim compensation if responsibilities aren't met. To tell us more about it, we have Rakesh Kirplani from Drew Napier. Rakesh, how does the new framework change financial and telecom companies' phishing responsibilities?
Well, to answer the question, the way it changes responsibilities, actually, it doesn't really change responsibilities very much. It clarifies the roles that financial institutions, telcos, as well as their users have in respect of dealing with this issue of phishing scams. And it's quite useful because the guidance that the phishing framework provides makes it very clear as to how each player in this chain dealing with these issues needs to adhere to the obligations that it has in order to ensure that it avoids risk, in order to ensure that it avoids liability for these scams.
Can you also go through the benefits and at the same time the drawbacks of this framework for financial institutions and telecom companies?
I think the benefits essentially is it makes it very clear for each user, for each financial institution, and for each telco as to what they need to do in order to ensure that they comply with the obligations under the framework. Naturally, the drawbacks would be that, again, for each user, they would be expected to ensure that they stay vigilant against these types of scams. And that means that they have to continue to keep themselves updated on the new methods that scammers use to try and get at them. For financial institutions and telcos, I imagine that the effort and cost in dealing or complying with their obligations under the phishing framework. So it essentially means that they're going to have more effort and more cost. But the good thing about the framework is that it shares that burden across the financial institutions, telcos, as well as the users.
But more importantly, to avoid this, what additional measures should the government consider in order to strengthen Singapore's phishing defenses?
I think that it is important that education, public education, and awareness of scams, phishing scams, and other new types of scams that keep appearing these days, particularly with the advent of artificial intelligence. It's very important that the government continues to push education as a pillar in combating this scourge. And the reason for that, of course, is that I think, in my view, education is a key tool to combat all these types of issues, because these issues tend to develop and move very quickly with technology. And so it's the only way to effectively, continuously combat them is if potential victims are able to spot the signs of these scams and these phishing attacks and get out ahead in front of them rather than being behind the curve.
Thank you so much for your time today, Rakesh.
Thank you.
Once again, that was Rakesh Kirplani, Director for Dispute Resolution and Information Technology and Chief Technology Officer at Drew Napier. For more news, visit sbr.com.sg.